Hi, it's Jari Villanueva, the Taps Bugler, and you can find me at my website, which is www.tapsbugler.com or tapsforveterans.org. And we'll be launching a new website this fall, actually on Veterans Day. That will be www.tapsacrossamerica.org. And that is the website that will be devoted to the big event that will be happening every Memorial Day, the sounding of taps during the moment of remembrance, Memorial Day at 3 p.m. So I hope you come back and check out that website when it launches. You can also find me on Facebook. Just all you have to do is search for Taps Bugler and you'll find me. Or you can just go to Google and put in Taps Bugler and you'll find me one way or the other. Well, and of course, we have a YouTube channel. Almost forgot about that. And if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please make sure that you hit the like and the subscribe button so that we can get more subscribers. We have well over 4,000 subscribers right now, and I'd sure like to get 4 million or 40,000, whatever. Be great. So today we're going to talk about plastic bugles. Of course, bugling is really taken off in the United States. A lot of folks have been buying bugles to sound taps at military funerals and ceremonies, and it's really terrific that folks are doing that. You can also find these plastic bugles online, and I had ordered one. I saw one advertised some time ago for like $19, so I figured, well, what the heck, let me try it out and see what it's like. And so I ordered it, and I got this, came in a box. It was marked trumpet/bugle, and comes in different colors. I decided to just go ahead and just get a neutral color. They had all kind of like bright red, bright orange, bright blue, purple, but just wanted to get one just to see what it sounds like. Very hard to blow, very stuffy sounding. I had to sort of fight almost every single note to make it sound. But for $19, well, what the heck, okay? Well, I was kind of hoping that there would be a company that would be making some of these bugles, and sure enough, there is. The Warwick Music Limited in the United Kingdom has put out a pBugle, and they have, with the success of their P-trumpet and their P-trombone, which a lot of people are familiar with. These are the plastic versions of metal instruments. With the success of those instruments, they've introduced the pBugle, and I was able to get one. I actually had it sent to me by a North American distributor for these instruments for me to try out and do this video, which I'm happy to do, and review this horn. But this is what it looks like. Comes with a plastic mouthpiece, and what's kind of nice about this mouthpiece is that it is a 7C cup, a medium-sized cup, and it's not just a cheap throwaway mouthpiece. It's actually halfway decent. The horn itself has water key, has a tuning slide, and it's based just like the P trumpet minus the valves. So I've heard some really great things about the P trumpet, so here we go. Here's what it sounds like. Much easier to blow than that other piece of plastic I had before. Blows very, very freely. Now, the horn is designed to be inexpensive and easy enough for any child to learn brass playing through playful exploration. And at the same time, it's a real trumpet, minus the valves, of course. And this allows for the development of good brass skills, something we really want to teach the youngsters who are, being introduced to brass playing. And the pBugle has had some great success in Europe and also Japan, and is now being introduced in the United States. And with the onset of school, where you have a lot of classes where you want to have young students who want to learn to play the brass instrument, this is a great tool for them to have. Now, Chris Fowler, who is the director of creativity and innovation at Warwick, used feedback from the P trumpet to create this instrument, which they felt would be a great way to start the kids on the trumpet. And by the way, I should not just keep this to kids. I mean, this is also a great way for any adult who wants to learn how to play the trumpet. I get a lot of emails, a lot of questions from folks who said, I haven't played trumpet my entire life, but I'd like to learn. Or we have some folks who said, I played trumpet back in high school, but that was 35, 40 years ago, and I want to get back into playing. Well, something like this would be a terrific way to start. Now, according to Chris Fowler, creating an instrument that, like the pBuzz, now the pBuzz was designed to get you to learn how to buzz very well, just using this small device. Now, using that, of course, the pBuzz isolated, just certain aspects of brass playing. But this one not only gets you to learn the buzzing technique, gets you to learn good placement of the embouchure, and of course the importance of producing good tone, and of course developing that good airstream. The pBugle was designed and developed for lots of reasons. Number one is that, like I said before, it's a great way to get kids to start learning how to buzz on a brass instrument, and without the worrisome of playing valves and stuff. Second of all, it's great, as I mentioned before, because it's good for the placement of the embouchure and for good tone production. And it's a great introduction to the bugle itself. It's a perfect way to learn good skills that will go into learning when you decide to go into a marching band, or like in the United Kingdom where they have bugle bands that are very popular, or here in the United States where we have drum and bugle corps. It's great to start youngsters off very early, getting the basic skills down before they move on to the next level. Now, Chris Fowler had said that he was looking at the British bugle, which is in B flat. It's it's a triple wound bugle. It has a very big bell and stuff. It's been their standard bugle that they use since the 1850s. But he was looking for something a little different, and he saw the American bugle, which of course our bugle is based on the M1892 G field trumpet. And so he said that he saw many images of American sounding calls on what we call the Boy Scout bugle, and also probably he saw the bugle that's been used quite a bit for military funerals, the ones made by Canstel, Getzen, Bach, and of course now the Carroll brass. So they probably saw that and decided it would be great to have a B-flat type of instrument. So it's, like I said, it's a great way of getting kids to focus in on the bugle, tone production, breathing, embouchure, and all that, but also a great way of introducing kids to the bugle and of course its place in history and tradition as a very important instrument in use for military funerals and ceremonies. So I'm going to play a little bit. This is, if you don't recognize it, hopefully I'll play it correctly. This is the last post. This is the British call that they play at military funerals and ceremonies. is it's easy. It's very easy to blow. A very nice instrument. Oh, and the price is not that bad. It's I think around 40 pounds English, so what, $50-$60 or so American. Don't know for sure. You can check on their website. Now, it's very interesting. When this was sent to me, I had not realized that I actually had owned one before. And somehow I had gotten hold of one because if you go to the website, it's in red. But turns out I had a silver or a gold one, gold painted. Exact same thing. So I'm thinking that this might be an earlier model. And when I've played it, same response. I think this is an earlier model. It's not quite as free-flowing as the one that was sent to me, but it's quite good. And this is what taps sounds like on this pBugle. So plays really well, and for the money. Now I don't advocate this being used in the place of metal bugles or brass bugles at military funerals and ceremonies. These horns are designed, for kids and for adults who want to learn the basics of brass playing, and it's really a great way of getting them to do this. Now, the pBugle, well, Warwick Music, they have some videos online where they have a class of youngsters all in a semicircle learning how to play, and they actually have some recordings that you can play along and play some very easy music to it. But one of the great things is that if you get a whole bunch of kids together in a semicircle and you have a teacher out in front, best way to get kids to learn about brass playing is to do the simple call and response thing, is where you would have the teacher they repeat it, things like that, call and response, where you play something and they play it. And of course you'd go around with each kid and check where the mouthpiece is, and if they're breathing correctly, and if they're filling the sound. One of the things I always like to do when I had students is that as they play, I like to put my hand right up close to the bell and always say, hit my hand with that sound. Try to get them to breathe, through the entire horn. So now, while this instrument is not really based on the American style bugle, it's a single wrap rather than a double wrap. There were bugles here in the United States that were developed, plastic bugles, and of course talking about the model 1892 plastic bugle that came about during World War II. This is a plastic. These were in the key of G, and they were developed for the United States Army when brass became scarce during World War II, and they were made of a plastic called tennite. Tennite had first been introduced in 1929 by the Eastman Company. Everybody knows, of course, they became the Eastman Kodak Company. And the design, of course, was based on the regular G bugle at the time, which we refer to as the Boy Scout type bugle, and of course pitched in the key of G, so it's a little different. Kind of a neat horn to play. And what's interesting is that the thousands and thousands of these were made during World War II, and then afterwards they found their way into military surplus stores, and you could buy them for $5, and people would take them to ball games, football games, baseball games, and blow the heck out of them, have a lot of fun with them. Now, as for the costs of the pBugle itself, I mean, it's quite expensive, and like I said, I get a lot of emails and requests from adults who say they're interested in learning to play the bugle and how can they get started. Rather than spend a lot of money for a trumpet right away, to see if they really want to learn the instrument and see if they can develop the skills just to get that sound. This might be a very inexpensive way to do it. It's quite easy to blow. The mouthpiece is very good. It's very decent. It's like I said before, it's a medium-sized cup, or you can use your regular metal mouthpiece on it. And the only drawbacks I see to this is that it's pitched in the key of B flat. So for students who want to learn how to play, you're going to be limited to just maybe 3 notes at the very beginning until they really start developing range. Of course, the first note you want to get students to sound is the concert F, or the G on the bugle. And then the C below. For the first week, 2 weeks or so, those are basically the only 2 notes that most students will be able to get. And then as they improve their embouchure, then they'll be able to work up to the high C. And then up to the E. And then much further on down the line, getting that top G. But it shouldn't matter, because as you work on long tones, and of course you can develop a lot of exercises for these instruments, and there were books actually written to help teach kids how to play the bugle. A lot of exercises based on the lower notes. So, you get kids working on that. You get the recordings that Warwick Music has put out, and follow these the exercises that are on the video. They're fun to watch. It's great to see these kids play these horns. So, as you do that over and over again, you're going to get the idea of learning how to play. And anyone who's looking at this video and hasn't played a brass instrument at all, I will tell you once again, like I tell everybody, playing a trumpet or playing any brass instrument takes a lot of patience. It's something that you're not going to get like right away. And it's very important that when you pick up the brass instrument, and once you learn about the placement, you learn how to buzz and everything, then buzz through the mouthpiece, that you work on long tones and breathing. And it's so important to make sure that you rest in between each time. I always like to say that the lip is just nothing more than a muscle, and that a weightlifter doesn't start off by lifting up 500 pounds right away. You're going to work your way up to it. And it's the same thing. It's the same concept. that you develop that muscle, and it takes some time and it takes some patience. So anyway, this is like I said, the pBugle. It's a terrific instrument. It's a great way. It's a great tool for starting out, learning how to play a brass instrument. It comes in red on their website, but like I said, I found a gold one, so I don't know if they sell that or not, but check it out. The mouthpiece is a 7C, good medium size. It does not have a case, but I went online and I found a gig bag. And gig bags like this, trumpet gig bags, you can find, they're very inexpensive, and you don't really need to find a very expensive gig bag. I mean, one for about like $19, made of canvas and stuff, works just fine. The horn fits in there perfectly. Zipper's all the way down. Oh, yep, all the way down. It does, really does, like that. And it has a pouch on the side for the mouthpiece. So you can find a gig bag quite easily online, or you can just keep the instrument outside, on your desk, because it's certainly not going to tarnish. But it's a brilliant crossover, between a toy and a musical instrument. Inexpensive but robust enough for a kid to pick it up and have some fun with it. So check it out, and if you like it, what the heck, pass it on to a student, and get them to learn those great little aspects of brass playing. So anyway, that was a little bit about the pBugle. I hope you learned something today. Once again, if you're interested in it, the company is called Warwick Limited. They are in the United Kingdom. They also have a website, and I'm sure you'll be able to find a North American distributor and get it online, and probably on Amazon right now. I haven't checked there, or any one of those other places that sells instruments. So once again, thanks for listening. It's Jari Villanueva, the Taps Bugler, and once again, if you're watching this on my on my YouTube channel, please hit that like and subscribe to the channel. And once again, you can reach me through Facebook. You can reach me through my website, www.tapsbugler.com. One of the things I always like to do is put out a number of articles about bugling, protocols about bugling, information about taps, of course, stories about buglers. I did one just recently on John Martin, who was the bugler for General George Armstrong Custer. He was the last American to see Custer alive. And I just finished an article about the significance of 3 volleys at a military funeral. And so if you go to the website, tapsbugler.com, you'll be able to see those articles, and you can actually sign up on there to get updates, get those articles sent direct to your email. So, hey, once again, thank you so much. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.